It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at these 6 films released on September 19th, 2008. A wide assortment of movies here, so let's not waste any more time. Let's just go ahead and jump right on into it. And we'll start off with the biggest new release of the weekend, Samuel L. Jackson in the Neil LaBute crime thriller Lakeview Terrace.
Give up the wallet, man. Give it up.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
What? Scared the hell out of me.
Imagine that.
I met our new neighbor.
And?
He has a very special brand of humor.
He's got security lights.
Your outside lights are shining right into our upstairs.
See how that could be annoying? But I don't need you putting your bedroom scenes out here for my kids to see.
The tires are flat.
They're slashed.
See anyone?
No. I just see you.
The man never made an actual threat against your life, and he has the color issue on his side. And that color happens to be blue.
Put the gun down!
We gotta figure out a way to deal with this.
Or what?
The hell are you doing? You didn't ask my permission to plant this. I'm the police. You have to do what I say.
Lakeview Terrace.
You guys are lucky. There's a cop living next door.
Rated PG-13.
So as I mentioned before, this was directed by Neil LaBute, whose last film was the So Bad It's Good, The Wicker Man remake with Nicolas Cage. And I wish I could say this one is on that same level, but no, it's not. It's not even up there with some of Neil LaBute's better movies. This is a film that, boy, this thing fell apart pretty quickly. It starts off with an intriguing premise. Samuel L. Jackson plays a racist black Los Angeles Police Department police officer who terrorizes his next-door neighbors, Patrick Wilson and Kerry Washington, only because they're an interracially married couple. And literally, that's the plot of the movie. It starts off promisingly. I mean, there's a lot of things about the first maybe 20, 30 minutes that I got invested in. I thought it was actually going to work. But then it just falls apart pretty quickly. It falls into Pacific Heights territory. It falls into single white female territory. It falls into the hand that rocks the cradle territory. I mean, it's a movie that literally is nothing but watching somebody terrorize somebody else for their own stupid reasons, and there's not even a point to it. There's not even a point to it. As you can just see why they're doing it right from the get-go. And Samuel L. Jackson can do it because he's a cop, and he's somebody that is above the law, and he can do whatever he wants supposedly. And it just doesn't work, man. I mean, this is a film that we've seen done to death so many times before. On any other circumstances, this would have been a Lifetime movie of the week. But because you got Samuel L. Jackson, because you've got Kerry Washington and Patrick Wilson, it had to go to the big screen. Not to mention, Will Smith's company, Overbrook Entertainment, is one of the main producers on him. And I think one of their kids are in this movie, too. But it doesn't work because as much as the actors in here are good enough to elevate this material, there's no real point to it. I mean, we're just watching Samuel L. Jackson harassing this couple just because they're a mixed-race couple, and that's it. That's the whole idea of the movie, and it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever because, I mean, this takes place, it's a reference to the title itself is based off the middle-class Los Angeles neighborhood of Lakeview Terrace. There's even points in the movie where Samuel Jackson has no other problem with any of the other couples in town, but so why is he going after this couple just because of their race? I mean, it's because they're an interrace couple. It just, none of this makes any goddamn sense whatsoever. And if you're going to watch this movie just to see Samuel L. Jackson being chaotic and over the top and being basically a Kevin or Karen, I mean, there's no reason to do that. I mean, you can just go online right now and look for Kevin compilations, and that's stuff that's happened in real life, and that's stuff that, stuff like that makes a movie like this pretty obsolete pretty damn quickly because, yeah, this movie just doesn't work at all. It's a film that starts off promisingly but falls off really, really quickly and becomes a typical standard bland thriller that thinks it's got a message behind it, and then they don't reveal what the message is, and nothing about the film works overall. Everybody here is wasted in this. I mean, there's nobody in here that comes out unscathed or good. It's just a bad movie. It's a film that just doesn't work, and it's such a disappointment. Such a disappointment because of everybody involved. I expect so much better from it, but it's not there. It's just not there with this movie, so. With that said, let's go ahead and move on to the next movie we have here. Dane Cook in his last film with Lionsgate, because, Larry the Cable Guy had his last film earlier in the year. Dane Cook now has his last film, My Best Friend's Girl.
Your dreams.
I'm Alexis.
Try doing the following. Show her you're lovesick. Get a new hairstyle. Oh my God.
Always make yourself available.
Hello? Yeah, I can talk.
Start thinking about babies.
Oh, that what he's having?
And get to know her family.
Come on, it's not gonna suck itself, Mama.
Dane Cook, Kate Hudson, Jason Biggs, My Best Friend's Girl.
And now you see why this was Dane Cook's last film, because holy mother of God, I mean, like, who would have guessed that Employee of the Month would be Dane Cook's high mark for comedies where he's the lead in it? Because, good Lord, this thing is a mess, man. So, and also Jason Biggs. I forgot Jason Biggs was in this movie. 0 for 2 so far this year with this and Over Her Dead Body. But Jason Biggs plays Dustin, an amiable guy who's in love with Alexis, played by Kate Hudson. Academy Award nominee Kate Hudson, by the way. And this is what she's been relegated to in the 8 years since. She's a co-worker of Dustin. And when she tells him she just wants to be friends, he hires his roommate, Tate, played by Dane Cook, who's a fast-talking, amoral scoundrel who has a side business. Men whose women have dumped them hire Tank to take their ex-girlfriends out on a date from hell to drive the women back into their old boyfriend's arms. Yeah, I can't see that not being a major red flag right away, but anyway, he takes out Alexis, who, against her better judgment, decides she needs some randy fun. So Take is in a quandary. Take Alexis up on her offer or stay true to his friend. More complications ensue as the wedding of Alexis' sister approaches. Tank seeks advice from his father, played by Alec Baldwin. Dustin pursues Alexis, and questions of self-worth need answers. And we need answers to the question of why the fuck did you make this movie? Because, yeah, this film is such a colossal failure on so many levels. Nothing about this movie works at all. Like the premise makes no sense whatsoever. Dane Cook's job in the movie makes no sense whatsoever. So what? He takes he's basically taking these women out that clearly do not want to be with their ex-boyfriends, and for some reason that's going to make him say, you know, I should go back to my old boyfriend. It's just like, what sense does that make whatsoever? Is Dane Cook the only person left in the world besides the people that these women will go for? I mean, nothing about this movie makes any sense whatsoever, and you expect so much better from people like Kate Hudson and Alec Baldwin. Again, an Oscar winner, an Oscar nominee, I should say, for The Cooler, which was a really good movie with him. But, man, he has fallen on hard times with this movie, man. I mean, they brought him in here mostly because, hey, his career had a renaissance with 30 Rock and the Oscar nomination a couple years prior. But, I'm sorry, there's just nothing in this movie that's worth it. I mean, granted, it's not as bad as Good Luck Chuck. Good Luck Chuck was an abysmal film. Who would have guessed that, like I said, who would have guessed Employee of the Month would be the best of the 3 films that Dane Cook had the starring role in terms of a romantic comedy? But, I mean, he has proven that he can be a decent actor. We've seen him in Mr. Brooks. We've seen him in Dan in Real Life. I mean, the guy does have potential as a leading actor, but not in a comedy like this. And, really, the warning sign should have not been Dane Cook, but the fact that this is the director of The Whole 10 Yards, so... There you go. That's the reason why you should probably stay away from this movie. But nevertheless, it was still, unfortunately, a hit. It made double its budget back, $41 million. So apparently people bought into it. And I feel sorry for those people because, man, what a colossal failure this movie was. So, yeah. We're not off to the greatest of starts here. And surely we can turn the tide around with our next movie, I would hope. Let's take a look at Igor.
Every year in the land of malaria, the most brilliant minds compete to see who is the greatest scientist of them all.
It's the 51st annual Science Fair.
And behind each scientist
Pull the switch.
is an Igor. Whose job can be summed up in 2 words.
Yes, master.
But one Igor is about to change everything.
Sorry, master. I was in the bathroom. Had a bat stuck in the belfry, if you know what I mean.
Did I forget to mention this was directed by the same guy that did the Emoji Movie? So yeah, we can already go ahead and call this an instant failure right from the get-go. Plus, it's the Weinstein Company who got lucky with Hoodwink, but everything else they've done since then is not good. Not good at all. And for MGM, this was their first fully animated film since, of all things, All Dogs Go to Heaven 2 in 1996. But this is a movie where you have... it's a good concept overall. It's actually a pretty interesting concept overall. Chris McKenna wrote this, who, of course, was one of the writers on American Dad, has written a lot of other good stuff, but you have John Cusack playing the titular Igor, who lives in the kingdom of Malaria, where others of his kind serve as assistants to evil scientists. In trying to achieve his dreams to becoming an evil scientist, Igor accidentally creates a sweet-natured female monster named Eva, played by Molly Shannon, and a voice cast that also includes Steve Buscemi, Sean Hayes, Jay Leno, Eddie Izzard, Jennifer Coolidge, Arsenio Hall, John Cleese, Christian Slater. James Lipton even shows up in the movie, not as a character, but himself. It's a live-action role, which makes no sense whatsoever. Like, why is he here in this movie, and why is he playing this character? I mean, James Lipton's awesome, but yeah, this seems really pointless, and the movie goes where you think it's going to go. It takes an aspiring, interesting concept of having, the evil scientists these evil assistants to these mad scientists having the focus of their own storyline, and under another studio, this could probably work, but not under a studio like MGM and the Weinstein Company, who are just making kids' films for the sake of building a family library, so 20 years from now they could be part of a big family film collection on DVD or Blu-ray. I mean, that's literally why this movie exists. The animation is terrible. You can see the jokes in there are not that interesting at all. It's a waste of good talent across the board, and it just doesn't work. It's a movie that's really, really lazy and badly put together. And I said bad things about him this director for doing the Emoji Movie, but he did do Lilo and Stitch 2, which was not a bad movie. It was actually one of the better Disney direct-to-video sequels. But this, yeah, you could see that this is the tip of the iceberg before his career came tumbling down with the Emoji Movie. So, yeah. What more can you say about it? Igor, not a good movie. So we're 0 for 3 so far, but I have a feeling we're going to turn the tide around here with the next movie we have here, because this is one of my favorite underrated films of the year. Ricky Gervais in Ghost Town.
Crossed over to the other side.
Did anything unusual happen during my procedure?
You died.
How long?
7 minutes.
A bit less.
And he didn't come back alone.
You got a sec? New York is lousy with ghosts.
On September 19th, he may not like them.
Why are you dressed like that? Were you a maitre d'? You wear what you died in. At least they look nice.
But he's the only one who can help
You
them.
did have a lot of unfinished business, which is why we're still here.
Is this a bad time?
Ghost Town.
Yeah, this is a movie you probably never even heard of, because it quickly came and went. Didn't really make much of an impact at the box office. It was a critically praised movie, but it really didn't make much at the box office. It came and went. It didn't even it barely made back its budget of $20 million, but it was largely forgotten after a couple months. But man, this was a movie I was really glad I got to see when I did, because it definitely works. You have Ricky Gervais in one of his few leading roles, where he plays a dentist who accidentally gets killed when he gets hit by a bus while trying to buy an apartment for his mistress, and then he ends up in the hospital, and he ends up dying for 7 minutes under general anesthesia during a colonoscopy. And because of this, he's able to see and talk to ghosts, and he has one ghost that follows him around, Greg Kinnear, who basically wants him to help his wife out, who's still alive, played by Taylor Leone. And not only does he need his help, but a lot of these other ghosts come around him and ask him to help him out. And it's a very, very good movie. This was written and directed by David Coep, who, of course, is a very prolific writer. You've seen his works before. This is the guy that wrote Jurassic Park, Carlito's Way, The Paper, Mission Impossible, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But he's a good director, too. He's made a couple of really good movies. Stir of Echoes, Secret Window, Premium Rush. The guy's been behind a lot of really good stuff. He's written a lot of good stuff as of late. Presence, Black Bags, the 2 Steven Soderbergh movies that came out this year have been really, really good, I've heard. I haven't gotten to see them yet, but yeah, this is a really damn good movie. And it shows Ricky Gervais did have a promise there as a leading star. He would only do one other movie the following year, which was The Invention of Lying, which isn't as good as this movie is, but I didn't think it was all that bad. But it's a good movie. It shows what he can do as a leading actor, and he does have some nice chemistry with Téa Leoni. Téa Leoni is very good in the film. Greg Kinnear has a very fun role here. The ghosts are very fun to watch here. You see Kristen Wiig in the trailer there, and it reminded me a lot of the old Woody Allen movies, like The Purple Rose of Cairo. That's what I feel like I got the most from that, and also Alice. These very hybrid fantasy comedies of his that were very high ambitious for the time, and some of them work, some like Purple Rose of Cairo, some of them not so much, like Alice, but that's what this reminded me of when I watched it again recently. I was really impressed by how this film held up pretty well. It's a really good movie. It's one you should definitely check out. It's a very underrated Ricky Gervais comedy. Very good film. This director overall has made a lot of really good films that didn't make much of an impact box office-wise, but their longevity is very, very good. But, yeah, this is definitely one you want to check out. Ghost Town is a really good, underrated little gem. Probably my favorite movie of the whole week. So, although our next movie is really good too, and again, was not a big box office hit either, but I mean, you can't go wrong with a new Western. This is Ed Harris's Appaloosa.
City Marshal, you're a dead man.
How long have you been killing people for a living?
I don't kill people. I enforce the law. Looks like you made your first mistake, Cole. You afraid to die?
I ain't afraid.
Good, because you go first.
So in the movie, Ed Harris and Viggo Mortensen are lawmen hired by desperate towns as marshal and deputy, respectively. The city fathers of Appaloosa hire them after Randall Bragg, played by Jeremy Irons, a newly arrived rancher with money and a gang of thugs, disrupts commerce and kills 3 local lawmen. Colin Hitch contrive to arrest Bragg and bring him to trial, but hanging him proves to be difficult. Meanwhile, a widow has arrived in town, played by Renee Zellweger, pretty refined and good-natured. Virgil falls hard, and it seems mutual, but there might be more to Allison than meets the eye. Can friendship and skill with a gun overcome a pernicious villain and a green-eyed jealousy? Yeah, this is a film that's actually really damn good. Modern Westerns were really coming back in full form at the end of the decade here. You know, 310 to Yuma and the assassination of Jesse James the year before. Open Range came out 5 years prior to this. This is one that does not get talked about a whole lot, but it's a really good movie by Ed Harris, not just as the star. He also co-wrote the film and directed it, too. This is actually his second film as a director after Pollock, which got him an Academy Award nomination for starring in that film. But this is a really good underrated Western movie. It's a very gritty looking film. It does things that are very different compared to other Westerns overall. The acting overall, I think, really elevates it to something really incredible. Viggo Mortensen and Ed Harris are great in this. Renee Zellweger is really good here. Jeremy Irons really pulls it off as in a Western like this. I didn't think Jeremy Irons could work in the Western form, but here he goes, putting in a really good performance. Lance Henriksen's in here too, Tim Spall. There's a lot of good people all across the board in here. It's a very eclectic-looking film. It's not too long. It's not Assassination of Jesse James long. I mean, it's only about 2 hours long, so you're not really in there for longer than you need to be. But it's definitely a very good Western that is very underrated, and it's one you should definitely check out. Appaloosa is one I highly recommend checking out. So, with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the last one we have here, and that is The Duchess.
Nothing to concern you.
She'll dare to defy tradition.
He's in love with you.
All London is talking. Let them talk.
To follow her heart. The Duchess. Rated PG-13. Now playing in select theaters. Everywhere October 3rd.
So The Duchess is a story about, based off the book Georgina, Duchess of Devonshire by Amanda Foreman. And it's about the late 18th century English aristocrat Georgiana Cavendish, Duchess of Devonshire. She was a distant relation of Diana, Princess of Wales, where the quote, "There were 3 people in her marriage," and the promotional poster comes from. The Duchess was the older sister of Lady Diana's great-great-great-grandfather, George Spencer, 2nd Earl Spencer. This is one of the rare movies from this year that I have not seen. So I can't really say if it's any good or not. I mean, there's good talent across the board here. You know, Keira Knightley, Ray Fiennes, Charlotte Rampling, Dominic Cooper, Haley Atwell, Simon McBurney, but I mean, I've never seen the film. I've heard about it. I just never really had an urge to go and see it. And mostly because no one really ever said, this is one you got to check out. And really, I've never heard anybody say this is one you got to check out. Even though it did win the Oscar for Best Costume Design and also was nominated for Art Direction. I don't know. The film, nothing really about this film really said I needed to see it overall. And I've never really had a real desire to go check it out. But then again, maybe it is something I need to see. Maybe it is something that I should check out. I mean, there have been some good period pieces as of late. Some with Keira Knightley involved in them. Pride and Prejudice was a good one. Atonement was a really good one. This one, I've never heard anybody really say anything great about it. And the reviews for it are not that great either. It's got like a 63 on Rotten Tomatoes. So that's not really that great of a review, of a consensus overall. So I don't know. I've never seen it. I probably won't check it out, but I don't know. Maybe one day I will. Maybe I might get curious about it, but I've never really had any interest in really checking this movie out per se. So that's my quick thoughts on The Duchess overall, because I haven't seen it, so I can't really say too much more. And so with all that said, we are going to wrap up this edition of Time About the Movies, and the next time we meet, we'll wrap September up with 5 movies, including Shia LaBeouf and DJ Caruso's follow-up to Disturbia, Eagle Eye, Richard Gere and Diane Lane in their first movie together since Unfaithful, Nicholas Sparks' Nights in Rodanthe, the movie that was a big breakout hit that nobody really saw coming, Fireproof, and then a couple of good independent movies, Spike Lee's Miracle at St. Anna, some you might have never even heard of, that one in particular, and also Sam Rockwell starring in Choke. So 5 films overall to look at next time around, some really good ones in there. We'll definitely delve into those coming up tomorrow on the show, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please go ahead and hit that playlist on the next page, check out the previous episode, and also don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, notification button, and the bell. That's when you get updates on when new videos come out, and we do post new videos here every day. So with all that said, I'm off. I'll see you guys next time, and until then, as always, take care.